KC9REN is going to talk about receiving the ISS SSTV. So,
Yeah.
Dean, why don't you take it away?
Okay. Now, first of all, I've never shared screen before. Well, yes, I did, but it was like just for a minute or two. So there's a number of different things that I'm going to be bringing up, and I practiced a little bit using my computer and Darlene's computer, and watching what's happening. And it's interesting. Screen share is not as easy as one would think sometimes. Um, if you pause screen share, I think starting screen share again on another item kind of screws things up, and I drop out of screen share, so it's kind of weird. The other thing that I noticed is that if you're going to ever have anything that has noise or sound, let's say if you're going to show a video or something, you have to, in screen share, you have to also select, uh, let's see, is that in advanced, I think. I forget exactly where it is. Oh, share computer sound. You have to click on that. It's in the lower left-hand corner. It's just a little tiny check mark. So I'm going to be sharing my computer sound because I'm going to be having some noise coming through. So, all right, is this coming through to you?
Yes.
Do you see this? All right, all right. I'm gonna start this. Oh, okay. So slow scan SSTV from the ISS. Uh, I have to move you guys a little bit. Now, I don't know how everyone has their screen set up. On mine, I have it so that you guys are in the right-hand side, and I miss a little bit of the video, so I don't know how you all have it set up. So there's different options here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hide the thumbnail video, so now I see most of my screen. So, slow scan TV from the ISS. Okay, here's a picture of the International Space Station. Does everyone see this? Is this working okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here's a nice picture I saw of the ISS, and I thought it was pretty nice, and it's a pretty picture of the International Space Station. So there's some interesting facts about the International Space Station. Actually, November 13th, they celebrated their 20th year uh, in space, and it's traveling at around the Earth at 15,500 miles per hour. That's a pretty good clip, I would say. It takes about 92 minutes to circle the Earth, and it does that 16 times every 24 hours. The size, the living and working space in the space station is about the size of a 6-room house. Has sleeping quarters, 2 bathrooms, a gym, and a 360-degree view bay window. That'd be kind of interesting to be in there to see that 360-degree view bay window. So the size in there is pressurized, of course, and it's the size. If any of you have ever flown on a Boeing 747, that's a pretty good size plane. It has the volume equal to that, so it's there's a lot there. And something I just found out: 8 spaceships can be connected to the space station at once. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's some new equipment for radio communication was delivered on March 9th, 2020, during the SpaceX 20 mission. There's one radio that operates as a packet digipeater and the FM repeater. I think I mentioned that before. That they to Jerry, they only have they're only using that one thing at one time, either the digipeater or the repeater, or the digipeater actually for packet. So. And the Columbus module is a Kenwood TM710GA. It operates at about 25 watts. It uses the call sign of NA1SS.
Use the mic.
And it will respond to the alias Eris. SoulScan TV is transmitted by a different radio that's located in the Russian service module, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name there. I'm not even going to try it. And that uses the call sign RS0ISS. That equipment, that radio, is a TMD710E running at about 25 watts, and it provides a pretty strong signal. I forget exactly how high the space station is. I don't know if it's 200 or 400 miles up in the sky, but it's up pretty good. 25 watts at line of sight does a pretty darn good job. So it says you can use simple equipment. Well, I have received slow scan TV using a Baofeng radio and a rubber duck antenna. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But so it's really easy to be able to receive something on very simple equipment. So anyone can really do it. The equipment that I usually use is an HT, such as the Yaesu FT60, or I use my Yaesu FT3D and a tape measure antenna. I use the same tape measure antenna, and I have a picture of it that's coming up. I use it also for amateur radio direction finding or fox hunting on 2 meters. So it's flexible. That's all you need is for receiving on 2 meters. So I use that. I also use a digital recorder that I hang around my neck during the pass. That way I'm recording the signals, the sounds that I hear through the radio into the recorder. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll mention the date and the time or something or what's happening before I get the pass, so that when I listen to it, I'll know when it was being sent down. Although the digital recorder does have a timestamp on it. So after I receive those signals, I wire it into the mic line input, and I select line on the laptop, and I run a software called SSTV to decode the signal into a picture. I'm going to be showing a demonstration of SSTV working in just a little bit. So here's a picture of my tape measure antenna, and that's one of the digital recorders I use. That particular one is a Sony, and is that a Sony? Darn, I can't remember right now. One's a Sony and one's a different brand. Yeah, that's all right. It's not important. Anyhow, that's they're not very expensive. I think I got it on Amazon. I actually have 2 of this style and 1 of the other. What I like about this particular style is that it saves it as an MP3 file, whereas my other digital recorder does not. I have anything that I have to play through and receive it on the computer and maybe save it as an MP3 file if I want to save that for future use. But this one, I just flip a little switch or lever, and a USB jack pops out of the top, and I can plug it into a USB port, and I can just transfer the files from the digital recorder onto the radio, or I mean the computer. But normally, if I'm going to be decoding the signals or the sounds, I'll be just wiring it right into the mic or the line input of my laptop. So I have 2 of these tape measure antennas. Darlene and I both will go out there and we'll do it. She'll be using one radio and I'll be using the other, and we compare notes a little bit. We have a good time with it. Here's an example of a past prediction that I use from Heavens Above website. I'll be connecting to that website, and Jerry, when I do that, I'll show you I'll look for that Saturday's International Space Station pass. And if you notice on the second line, I don't know if you see do you see my cursor moving?
Yes.
Okay, right here, notice on 25th of October, okay, there's going to be, it would start at a 10-degree elevation at 6:02 in the morning. This is AM. This is actually military time, so, but that's okay. So at 6:02, there'll be a 10-degree elevation, and the azimuth, that would be using a compass. I look to see where is west southwest, so I know where to start pointing my arrow antenna, or not the arrow, the tape measure antenna. And then at the highest point, it's going to be 79 degrees at 6:06. So you're looking at just about 3 minutes, approximately 3 minutes, and it'll be a 79-degree elevation. So that's pretty high. That's pretty high up in the sky. At that time, it's going to transfer from west southwest to north northwest. My cursor keeps disappearing, and I'd like to use it. And then at the end of the pass, so as you can see, it's not a very long. It's not a very long time that it's going across the sky, and at that time it's supposed to be visible in the sky. So I don't know if any of you have ever looked up and seen a little white dot moving in the sky. It doesn't flash, it's just a little white dots, usually at night, and sometimes that might be the International Space Station. I've only noticed it one time at night. I went out to do a slow scan TV pass, and right where I was supposed to be pointing my antenna, I saw a little white dot moving, and sure enough, that was the International Space Station. I just followed that across the sky. So that was the one and only time that I really went up or looked up and I saw it. There were other times that I went to look at it. It was cloudy in the sky, so that was kind of a bummer. So we're looking at 6:09 was the end at 10 degree. Now, during that pass, there's usually a good chance of receiving two separate pictures. They run for about 2 minutes at a time, the signals, the sounds, and then they stop for 2 minutes, and then they start another 2-minute transmission. So sometimes you can get almost three, but usually it's too complete that you might be able to. It all depends on where they are in the transmission when the International Space Station comes into view overhead. So, and here's an example of SSTV. This is one of the pictures that I was able to decode. Although this was a screenshot that I got off the internet. This was not me. As you can see in the upper left hand corner here, SP3QFE. Evidently, that was the person's call sign, because when you install this software and it asks for some information, and one of them is your call sign, and your call sign will show up right here, and that's where mine will be. But they haven't updated the software for a good number of years. I really don't remember when this was made, but it's been a number of years. But I want to just give you an idea, and hopefully this will come through. This is only a 10-second soundbite of what it sounds like when it's being decoded, or actually when you hear it in your radio. So here it goes. Hopefully this will come through properly. So that's what it sounds like. Did everyone hear that?
Yes.
That came across. Okay, good. I'm glad about that. So I'm going to show an example of decoding a slow scan TV signal using MMS-TV. And what it is, it's a file that I recorded before, and I decoded, and it will be decoded into an image. So I'm going to be changing to MMSSTV. Now I got to try to remember how I do this. Here we go. Okay, so file. All right, now this goes on for about 2 minutes, so please bear with me. Hopefully this works right away.
we be seeing the image being created right now or just listening to it?
Dean, did you hear that question?
No, what?
Oh, I was wondering, is your screen showing the image being generated?
Wait a minute.
Dean, all we're seeing here is the last slide you put up. We're not seeing the program at all.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I see it says your screen share is paused, and I didn't mean to pause it. Oh, okay, here. I'm going to resume. Let me try it this way. Do you see it now?
No.
It flashed up there for a second, Dean, and then left.
See, like I say, okay, it's this.
Now there's a screen with like a crosshatch on it.
Yeah. I don't know why this isn't showing. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing and start sharing again. Did you hear any the noise or no?
Yes.
You did? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't want you to go through all that again. Okay, do you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, this is the picture that it just decoded while it was playing. In fact, tell you what, I'm going to do it once again, but not the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So you get an idea of what happens, you know, as it's decoding, you're getting this picture, and it just goes right on down through to the bottom. This is actually, well, you saw the picture before, so it's this one right here. So, okay, I'm going to close this. Anyone have any questions about this software? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, evidently no questions. All right, I'm going to close this.
Dean, one question now, just
Yeah,
to
go
make sure
ahead.
I understand this. You go out into the field and you record the audio, and then you come back home and play the audio into the software and to decode it, correct? You're not decoding the picture live.
No, you're correct. Now you can decode it live into a smartphone. Apple Apple uses one type of software. Android uses another type of software. I have it on my phone, but I have an Android phone. It's nowhere near as clear or as crisp as on a computer, but it is possible. You can actually hold, let's say, an HT in your phone, and it will decode it immediately for you. The one that's on Android, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. Robot 36 is the name of the software for Android. It's a free software. So, all right, I'm going to continue on here. Let's see. So I'm going to current slide. All right. So is this working now? Coming across?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So here's an award that I received for submitting this particular slow scan TV image on October 4th, 2020. So this is the image that I submitted, and then this is the award. In a couple of days, they send it to you in email in a PDF format, and then I can print it up or do whatever I want with it. So they do give you awards for it. You can also get QSL cards from NASA for submitting your reception of the slow scan TV. So this is actually a picture of the QSL card that I received for that. So then now we're going to see if this works or not. Some URLs. Let's see, what else did I want? Oh, okay. This is actually going to be the ending of it. So I'm going to hit escape. And okay, is this still sharing?
You've got the hatch marks again.
Hash marks.
It's
Okay.
just a plain hash mark across the whole screen.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Now we got to.
Okay. Now it says your screen is paused. So I'm going to resume share. Let's see if this works. I'm going to do it this way. Just going to share another one. There. Okay. Now you should be able to see it. See my bookmarks here?
Yep.
Okay, good. See, this is all a learning curve. So one page that's pretty nice, or it's got a lot of information, is the AMSAT bulletin board. And what you do is you just put in your email, your name, which is optional, pick a password. And what they're going to do is they will send you information as far as it gives you reminders of passes, of different things to do with AMSAT, whether it be slow scan TV, International Space Station. So it's a pretty nice one. Here, Heavens Above. This is what I wanted to show. Okay, so this is heavens-above.com. And you can see that I'm signed in here. Okay, it holds it pretty good for quite a while. So I think if I'm off for, let's say, about 3 months, then it forgets my location. I just have to select where I am. So the 10-day prediction for International Space Station, we'll pick that. And I don't want to have just visible. I want to see all. Okay, so here you can see. And let's see, Saturday. What is the date on Saturday? That's 21st. So Jerry, you were asking about the 21st. Here it is, right in here. And you said that there's a real high pass. Okay, it looks like it's going to be visible. It's 85 degrees. That's almost all the way overhead. That's at 6:05 in the evening. It's going to start. Okay. Now, like I say, what would be a good idea is go out there and see if you can see it. So you can try that. It's going to start in the west-southwest, 85 degrees northwest. That's almost straight up anyhow. So, and then it's going to be setting in the northeast, but it says that it should be visible. Well, as long as it's not cloudy outside, it would probably be visible. So that'd be something for you to check out. So this is basically what I use. I will look at what area or what dates that I want, and I will print it out. And I look at the elevation of the passes. Like this one, I might or might not look at. Try if there's a slow scan TV signal being sent. So here, this is a good one, 79 degrees. This one is really low, only 10 degrees. That's right along the horizon, basically. It's only 10 degrees off the ground. And you can see that starts at 211 at 47 and ends at 212.19. I mean, it's not even at 10 degrees for a minute, so that would be a bad one. So does Jerry, does that answer your question pretty good? Jerry, are you there? Oh, maybe he went away. I don't know. I'm not seeing anyone here right now. So
Mike, is that better?
Oh, okay. All right. Does
She
this
had-
answer your question for you, Jerry?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I was usually look at AMSAT daily predictions,
Okay.
but what you got to remember is your location. Like I'm on the north side of a hill, so something to the south and southeast is kind of hard because you got to look at the angle. You might have to be at least 20 or 30 degrees above the horizon to even see it. But that 89-degree one would be good because it ends up in the northwest or northeast, which is a good shot for me, even if I don't get the beginning. But I'm going to definitely try to do that one on Saturday evening.
Okay. There you go.
It'll be fun to try. What other satellites do you work like? AO91 or
Well,
92?
satellites is another thing. Now I still use Heavens Dash Above for satellites. So let's say, for instance, I want to look at amateur radio satellites. I would select this one down here, and then I select which one. So I'm just gonna see if here SO50. Okay. I'll select SO50.
That's a good one.
All right. And why am I not getting any information on that?
Here you go.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to go. My phone's running out of power here, so.
Oh, okay, Tony. Did you have any questions before you leave?
No, I thought it was something. I knew a lot of it already. I've done a little bit of it, but not as much as I probably would like to. But
All right.
yeah, between the two meetings, one after another, it drained my phone.
Okay. All right. All right. You take care, Tony.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. So let's try AO91. Boy, this
I end up if I get up and disappear, it's because I'm watching. It's actually going over my house at 8:11. So I'm going to run outside and see if I can't
Oh, okay.
put my Yagi at it. So I'm going to jump up at some point.
All right. Sounds good.
I disappear.
I don't know why I don't know why I'm not getting the information I was looking for. It should be right here. Amateur radio satellites, all passes. And
There you go.
yeah, well, I selected that before.
OA50, yeah, AO50. Yeah, Dean, I think he finally got the bug now. I'm glad for him. He's going to have a lot of fun.
I'm going to have to look into this, find out why more information isn't showing up on this. But let's see if there's any other ones that I wanted to show. Oh, there's so much information, guys. If you're interested in this, go on YouTube, do a search for SSTV from the ISS, and there's a number of YouTube presentations out there. It's and then of course there's other information that's really interesting, like the ISS fan club. Do some searches for this, some Google searches. So the ISS fan club, pull this one. It's just issfanclub.eu. So it's got a lot of information on it. So I don't know what more information I can give you. Has to do with, this is again through the ISS fan club, but it's slow scan TV, and it gives information about it, how you can do it, how you can go about it and stuff. So that's about it. That's any questions?
Oh, very good.
If you want true questions, it's going to cost you a little bit, or true answers. Correct answers cost more.
Nice job, Dean.
I hope you guys check into it a little bit. It's just one more, Jeffrey. It's one more aspect of ham radio, and of course, being your technician, I understand you can actually talk to people to the astronauts on the International Space Station if they're active. Okay, that's a big if. But there's a number of in fact, all 4 astronauts that just went up there are ham radio operators. So,
Hey,
Dean, question for you.
yeah.
Can you characterize the operation of your tape measure antenna versus just a rubber duck on an HT? Do you notice a huge difference, or
Yes.
just
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
difference, or what?
Lots difference. Much better signal using the tape measure antenna. That's of course a Yagi. There is some gain involved there, and it's much larger. With the rubber duck antenna, you have to kind of hold it on an angle so that the signal is coming across broadside with the antenna. You don't want to be sticking it up at the International Space Station. So you're kind of holding it off on an angle, and even then, you're not getting a real strong signal. It's you're going to see a lot of like static or lines in the picture, but it does come through.
Okay, and second follow-up question, do you have to worry about Doppler shift for the ISS?
I've never had to worry about it. Usually with 2 meters, you don't have to worry about Doppler shift. When it's a UHF or 440, that's where you do have to be more concerned about Doppler shift, such as using the repeater on the ISS, or if you're doing satellite work. So whether your uplink is UHF or downlink is UHF, you want to at least adjust the UHF part of it for Doppler shift.
One question, Dean, do you have any trouble keeping your antennas pointed at the satellite to get a reasonable signal?
No, don't really have a problem. I'm doing it handheld. I'm not
That's
using
fair.
a rotator or anything. And the other thing that I have to do is sometimes I have to give it a little twist because to bring it in. You got to remember, well, the International Space Station isn't tumbling, but satellites do. And sometimes that antenna is oriented just a little bit differently. So you do want to twist it a little bit and watch the S meter on the handheld or whatever radio you're using to try to maintain the strongest signal.
Thank you. Interesting.
So if you now, you were saying you were having some issues trying to receive satellite information, and if that antenna isn't rotated just right, you might be missing out. You know, that might be the problem. Now I know Ted uses a couple of different antennas for satellite work, and I've never seen him where he actually has to rotate it. Although I think he's got them. He's using two separate antennas, I believe, one for UHF, one for VHF, and it's cross polarized. So
Right. My antennas are circular polarized.
yeah, circular
And
polarized.
I have the ability to switch between right hand and left hand.
There you go.
But a lot of times I find that, you know, there's nothing that says there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, I'm using an elk antenna on a little tripod with some kind of a arrangement for rotating and for angle. So that's what I'm using, just the elk 2 meter 440.
Yeah. Have you ever done it handheld, Jerry?
No.
No. Might want to give that a try.
I could.
Yeah. Or get a new compass.
Well,
I'm joking.
I think if my compass is off about for the declination a couple of degrees, I don't think it's going to make much difference. Because the antennas are pretty broad banded. I was always looking at the receiving curve for 3 dB loss, you know, how much bandwidth do you have? And it's usually on those is pretty reasonable. So you can be off 4, 5, 10 degrees. You won't be losing a whole lot.
Yeah.
But
One time
we'll see what happens.
One time I made a mistake and I put my compass along with my HT in the same package, and somehow the magnet on the HT speaker reversed the polarity on my compass. And you know, not only does it reverse polarity, but you know that needle is weighted a little bit differently, and it tends to hang or droop a little bit. And the first thing I noticed is that north is not that way. And all I did was I just took another magnet and just kind of swiped it across, and I was able to correct the polarity on the compass needle. But,
Yeah, I think.
so it's something to kind of think about sometimes. You know?
Oh no,
It's possible to change the polarity on a compass.
Well, it's like the young people say to get our licenses. They say, well, I only got a technician license. Look at all the stuff we're doing tonight.
Gosh,
this is all technician license.
You can do so much as a technician. Yeah.
I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
And like Jeffrey found out that with his microwave, then he started to understand what coaxes are. He uses that Romex, not Romex, but helical stuff at work for the stuff they use and about what the impedance is. And then, he said it made him think and read to understand how this works with what he was doing. And he found it to be quite interesting because he says, well, there's a lot there. You better believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean.
Yeah.
I know you're familiar with this. Earlier this summer, a ham gave me a Lindenblad antenna.
Yeah.
I've never used it. It's one of the quad dipoles that are turned at like 30 degrees. Now, I don't think there's much gain with that, but I think it is circularly polarized. Would that be suitable for this, or do I need more gain?
I would definitely give it a try and see how it works. I would think it should work just fine. Actually through AIRS, the AIRS program that I'm involved with, we are making or building a Lindenblad antenna as the backup for the AIRS, and this was okayed by NASA for us to be able to do that. We're getting the plans out of AMSAT magazine.
Dean?
Yeah.
I have that antenna at my house right now, and I just finished, the final construction on it.
Oh, good.
And this afternoon, I took it outside, mounted it about 8 feet above the ground, and I was listening to AO 91. It's the only one I had because I was only using an HT. If you're using something like an HT, a preamp might be good.
Yeah.
But I was at the high point, which was about 38 degrees. I got some full quieting, contacts out of it.
Great.
So
did you by chance hook up an antenna analyzer to it? I'm just curious.
Yes, I did. That's why I took it out. I wanted to see just where we were. And the SWR starts at about 1.2 at 144 and drops down to basically 1.1 at 148. So it's very, very flat across the entire 2 meter band.
That's nice. That's nice. Great.
I don't believe there's any directionality to that. That's total. It's omnidirectional. And does it point up?
It's actually on like you say, about 30 degrees. It's actually 4 dipoles that are crisscrossed at 30 degrees. It's
yeah, I just don't remember the pattern on it. I got to look it up again.
It's circular polarized, and depending on which end of the dipole you have up or down, it can be, I think, left or right. The one we built is right hand.
Okay.
I'm going to change it too.
Yeah, I need to take it outside, but I'll wait for bad weather. I'll wait for it to be raining or something when I go out.
Oh, they always work better then.
The other one's working too now. Interesting. Very interesting.
So, anything else?
So I have a question. What does Darlene think about this whole thing?
Oh, she loves being able to talking to the to people on satellite. She's got a number. She actually has a book or full of QSL cards. She has more QSL cards than I do. She has a great time with it, and getting QSL cards from other people, talking with them on the satellites. She also loves doing the slow scan TV, and she sits at her laptop and she puts it all in herself and comes out with the pictures, and it's a feeling of gratification or satisfaction or whatever you want to call it. It's fun. It's something,
absolutely.
It's fun. Something that you went up, something that was being transmitted by the International Space Station. It's a pretty cool thing that us hams can do.
A nice way to get out of the house without leaving, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That's great. That's really super. I enjoyed it. Your discussion was very nice.
Well, I hope some of you get out there and try it yourself, or at least start looking into it.
Yeah.
Start reading up on it and watching some YouTube videos, and maybe it'll get a bug in you.